It is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. I will call this meeting of the Miami Township, Montgomery County Board of Trustees to order. If everybody please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Posey.
Here.
Mr. Newell and Mr. Culp are excused from the meeting. Reading of casualties, Chief Stegelmeyer.
Good evening, Board. It's pleased to announce that there are no military casualties for this term. The following is the first responder casualty list for the law enforcement and firefighters. Deputy Sheriff Luke Gross, Hancock County Sheriff's Office, Maine, end of watch September 23rd, 2021. Deputy Sheriff Matthew Locke, Hardin County Sheriff's Department, Tennessee, end of watch September 25th, 2021. Deputy Sheriff Joshua Moyers, Nassau County Sheriff's Office, Florida, end of watch September 26, 2021. And finally, Lieutenant Brian Aller, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, Ohio, end of watch September 29, 2021.
If everyone could please join me in recognizing a moment of silence. Thank you. We have a presentation, swearing in of a new sergeant. Chief Stegelmeyer.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening, Board. It's my privilege and pleasure to bring forward one of my officers that's going to be advanced in the career this evening. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce to you Eric Waddell. Eric Waddell started with the Miami Township Police Department. You'll make me last stop, Eric. Police Department in February of 2011. This was Eric's first police department that he worked for, and he's stayed ever since, so we must be doing something right, Eric. While serving with the Miami Township Police Department, Eric has held the collateral duties as an evidence technician, a field training officer, and instructor in our emergency vehicle operations program. Eric holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and sociology from Ashland University. Eric is married to his wife, Bethany, who's here with him tonight. He has two daughters. He has a daughter, Amelia, and Charlotte, who are both at home with the babysitter. Good job, Eric. I appreciate that. I do believe Eric's father, Chris Waddell, and his mother, Diane Waddell, is here in the audience with us. Thank you for attending. Now, if I could please, Eric and Bethany come forward for your oath of office. Do you have a copy? Do you have a copy?
I state your name. Do hereby swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio.
The Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio.
And the resolutions of Miami Township, Montgomery County, Ohio.
And the resolutions of Miami Township, Montgomery County, Ohio.
And that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of my position as police sergeant of Miami Township.
As police sergeant of Miami Township.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
She didn't stick him. Hey, you got lucky, Eric. You thought you were good at home tonight. Thank you. You can give a kiss. Thanks. All right, Eric, make sure you...
Speech.
Make it quick. I'm not a big speech giver, but just want to give thank you to Chief, our administration, Township administration, and trustees, and all my friends and family for being here. When I moved down here about 11 years ago, I didn't know anybody, and it's great to see everybody here. And I'd like to thank Jay Ferris and Leah and everybody who's helped me throughout this process, and especially my wife for being so patient with me throughout this process, and that's it.
Now, I'm sure all the friends and family are super excited to stay through the rest of this meeting, or you're welcome to now leave and enjoy the festivities down in our celebration with cake and good food and friends. Thank you all for coming. All right, continuing on with our agenda, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris.
Aye.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
New business. Chief Stegelmeyer, we have a motion for a liquor permit, Speedway LLC doing business as Speedway 9630.
Yes, Board, this application is not a new, and it's not really a renewal. What this is about, Speedway already does have the proper permit as the information I put in your packet. What this merely is, it's a stockholder change. They've added somebody new to their stockholders. And anytime they do that per the Liquor Commission in Columbus, they must reapply for the liquor license. There's no change. All the permit requirements are the same. It's merely adding a new stockholder to the LLC. And I'll be glad to answer any questions if you have any.
Seeing no questions, Mr. Carlson, you have Resolution 72.
Yes, thank you, Board. This resolution is brought forward to you to review and accept the resignation of zoning commission member. Ms. Amy Yao has served on the zoning commission since 2019. She's lived in Miami Township for 22 years, is now moving out of Miami Township, is no longer an eligible zoning commission member. Mrs. Yao was a very appreciated, very well-attended zoning commission member. At this point, staff is having initial conversations about who her term replacement may be. We will have continued conversations with potential applicants. We're going to bring forward to this board a work session to discuss who that replacement may be. If you have any questions at this time, we'd be happy to discuss.
So if we were to refuse to accept her resignation, could we force her to stay here?
You have to stay, so that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a little thought on that one. Resolution 73, Mr. McCord.
Good evening, Board. The Resolution 73 is it's an annual event where we are asked as a township to accept the amounts and rates as determined by the county auditor and the Budget Commission for Montgomery County, setting the expected tax collections for the next fiscal year. Included in there was the estimates from the board, a brief cover memo, but if there's any questions, I'd be happy to address them.
Hearing none. Public comment period. Is there anybody here that would like to make any public comments outside of, if you're here for the zoning case, then you would hold those public comments for during the zoning case. But if you have any other comments you'd like to bring before the board, now would be the time to come forward. Seeing none, we will close the public comment period, move into consideration, votes of resolutions and motions. I will make a motion to approve the liquor permit that already exists for Speedway LLC doing business as Speedway 9630. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris.
Aye.
Mr. Posey.
Aye. I will make a motion that we approve Resolution 72-2021 reluctantly, a resolution to accept the resignation of a zoning commission member.
I will second. Discussion? Just like to thank Miss Amy for her service to the zoning commission, and we're disappointed to see her go, but we understand we cannot hold her.
Mr. Morris.
Aye.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 73-2021, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris.
Aye.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
All right, following our agenda, we now have a public hearing to discuss a zoning map amendment. And I have my script. I will make a motion to open the public hearing for zoning case 449-21. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Zoning case 449-21 is now open. The following will be the order in which the hearing will proceed. Staff will give a report. The applicant will be given an opportunity to give a presentation. All proponents will be given an opportunity to speak. All opponents will be given an opportunity to speak. A time limit of 5 minutes will be placed on each of the speakers. When you come forward, please give your name and address for the record. The board will review and record the findings of fact requirements in this case. The board will close the public hearing and make a final determination on the finding of fact. The board will then make a motion on the resolution concerning this case. The board will now hear the report from the staff. Mr. Carlson, have the legal requirements for this hearing been met?
Yes, sir. Legal requirements have been met.
Mr. President, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to continue this case until November 3rd, so we can have the full panel of the board here to hear it.
I will second that motion. Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
So this zoning case remains open and will be continued on November 3rd. Thanks to all those who came for the case. We will see you back again November 3. Department head comments. Mr. Hess.
Yes, sir. I'd like to just make a comment about one of the casualties that Chief Stegmeyer talked about. Lieutenant Brandon Aller was a friend of all of ours. He started the Dayton Post as the OSP, went up to Sydney and Pickle area as a sergeant, and ended up as a post commander at the Springfield Post. Brian was one of a kind. He touched many, many lives in this area, and he will be greatly missed.
Thank you for sharing those thoughts. Any other department head comments? Elected official comments. Mr. Posey.
Yeah, I missed my first trustee meeting 2 weeks ago, but Mr. Snyder and I were at the Dayton Development Coalition local leader fly-in, where we were hearing from some of our elected officials and other people that work in the DC area about what to expect from the federal government in the next upcoming year, and hope to be able to share that with the community at the Breakfast with the Board on October 13th.
Thank you. I also look forward to Breakfast with the Board on the 13th. I'd like to request, Mr. Mayberry was kind enough to go out and get some quotes for these speed sign technology that can take traffic data, but can also flash you're going too fast in various neighborhoods. You know, for years, we've kind of, through our police department, had this fight with the big trailer. We got to hitch to a thing and drive it out there and set it, and then the thing fails. It appears as if the technology has caught up with us, and from looking at some of the spec sheets, this is pretty interesting stuff. A lot more mobile, a little easier to use, solar powered, and it appears as if some of them are designed to just clip onto the existing posts. What I'd like to suggest is we have a future study session to kind of look at this technology and see if we want to make some future investments in it, and then decide if we want to permanently install it in some locations or just have it at our disposal for the Public Works Department to move around, rather than perhaps using our police department for speed monitoring devices. So if we could just add that to a future study session, that would be wonderful. We have no work sessions and we have no executive sessions. I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:13. Thank you all for coming.